Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing good. We're wrapping up with fulfillment here for ISOM number 2. Of course, shout out to all the supporters, the customers. You guys are wonderful people. Today's video, we're going to talk about something that I spoke about before. And look, people that are new to me are we know that they get really confused when they stumble across these kind of obsessive haters that I have. It's a very unique thing. It's not to say that I'm the only person with haters, but there is something uniquely obsessive and retarded, for lack of better terms, about mine. And yeah, you see that there's a lot of people that are very invested in my failure, very invested in our company's failure. That is not smart by any means, and you think that you know that by now, because after another successful campaign, multi-million dollars, by the way, back-to-back in a year, you lose again. Shout out to John De La Rose. He showed this. This is one of these heifers that we actually debated on this channel before. She lost there, and ever since then, she's kind of been feeling some kind of way. And now, of course, she's going back to knocking me again, which is very bizarre. I will say this. Keep it up, heifer. If you do keep it up, I will be revealing some emails that you sent to me. And I'm not sure it is that you want that public, but this whole two-faced thing that you do for the sake of the audience is very, very corny. Nonetheless, she's not the only one. There's plenty of them that are invested in the failure of the Rippaverse and the failure of myself. Why do I think this is? I just think that with some people, it's more ego, right? I think they think that, or let's say this, they want to be the person that takes Eric July down. And it makes them even more frustrated. It has a way of making them more frustrated. As this thing happens, this person throws this at me, throws everything. And it just bounces right off the armor, if you will. And if I can offer a bit of advice to you guys that are like that, it's you don't have to be this obsessive about really anybody, but especially the failure of myself, because you set yourself up for failure by doing so. You know, we got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of stuff I have up my sleeve with the future of the Rippaverse. We have legends that have been brought aboard. We know Chuck Dixon's Alpha Core is right around the corner. But he's not the only one. There's a lot of projects that are going to be created out of this, that are being created. And there's going to be, everything's not going to be $1 million campaign. But the fact that we've had 2 back-to-back like this that are not just $1 million, multi-million dollars. It's funny. You have people even trying to somehow say that was a failure because, I don't know, I guess number 2s in comic books are not supposed to do like what this one did. And, shout out to the great Chuck Dixon. He brought this up where, this is better than, definitely for the size, better than basically any number 2 that's out there. Give or take, there are going to be some anomalies, if you will. But really, what we're doing right here is very unique. It's not supposed to happen, but it is. It shows the enthusiasm, the general enthusiasm for our audience. Okay, so my advice is just start dealing with that stuff. Just cope with it, maybe silently. But if you do, continue this whole public hating of me, all you're doing is setting yourself up for failure, just like the people that now feel stupid when we went back to those old tweets of those people. Well, he couldn't do it again, or it wasn't, ISOM 2 will never come out since ISOM 1 did, and then it did, and then it was very successful, and yet now here we are again. Now, for me, I'm focusing on, the way I see it, Rippaverse is just getting started. We haven't had a campaign where I'm really on the campaign trail while the campaign's going on. I'm tied up in the warehouse, and as some of you guys know, as we've announced, our company is growing. And now it's going to be, maybe even by Alpha Core, it looks like that's going to be the case, where we're going to be staffed enough to where I'm not having to be there. And when I'm not having to be there, that means I'm focusing on other things, like getting this stuff out there, more creative things. And that's what we want, right? And imagine how successful we're going to be as we continue, or as we're in a position to even do that. We haven't been for 2 campaigns. Right? And I almost forgot. I mean, with this whole lawsuit thing going on, and there's a lot of folks banking on that. Oh, he messed up. Oh, this is it. This is over. He should have did this. He should have did that. Again, we're still not in a position to get to discussing, but I will say this. A lot of y'all that banked on that being the demise of the Rippaverse or the character right there, you're going to be very angry. Okay? Very angry. And again, it's you setting yourself up for failure. You don't have to do that. You lose again, and you're going to keep losing. And just waiting for us to fail is a very bizarre thing, specifically for the creative guys. I expect people that, that's all they do is critique things. Look, it is different from what I did with the Marvel and DC, because I was actually and still am a fan of that material, right? With these guys, they've hated me. They've always hated me, and that's just what it is. But there's folks that claim to be creative. They claim to have their own things. And boy, aren't they so invested in me. Look, I told y'all, look, with me, when I had to realize that being a creative is what I'm here to do. Right? This is why I don't do as many videos as I did in the past. This is why I'm not doing those long form review type stuff, because while I can do that in spurts, that's not what I put on this earth to do. I see the most success when I'm creating, and that's what I'm supposed to do. And when you are doing that, you don't really got time to be invested in a lot of the other stuff, and that's why I say that people that are more commentating, they do that, and that's fine. That it's necessary in a lot of cases with these commentators. A lot of them will admit flat out, look, I'm not creative. It's not what I do. Have a knack for communication and a knack for pointing things out, but that's not what it is they do. So if you are not that, though, you're the supposed creator, look, you can't possibly be that while spending the vast majority of your time, effort, emotion, platform, all that, obsessing over myself, and then losing on top of that because, well, nothing's happened. We're still here and we're not going anywhere. So that's a shout out to everybody that's a fan of the Rippaverse, everybody that's a fan of myself, everybody that has been a customer that has given this company a shot by buying ISOM 1, buying ISOM 2, buying all the merchandise and boxes and everything that we've been able to put out. That's a testament to you all. And we're not going to let you down, because, I mean, it's hard to believe. It's only been a year. Guys, we are just getting started. We're just getting started. If you like this video and want to get into a new comic book universe, visit Rippaverse.com. Our first campaign for ISOM 1 hit $3.7 million, and the pre-order campaign for ISOM 2 is currently live. So go check it out and watch the official launch trailer, which is the first animation of Rippaverse Studios.